Gotta find the right angle here. Yeah, that's it. Boom. Welcome back to Nick White Classics. Today we're going to be doing a quick channel bumper. I wanted to do another stop motion animation and I thought I would live stream the BTS. So if you're into that kind of thing, you're in the right place. I've got a couple bins filled with Atari 2600 games. And I'm just going to switch out for every frame. I'm going to switch out a game and try to capture the primary title screen. And then after all the frames are captured, I'm going to stitch it all together and create a channel bumper with the frames. So it's going to be like a stop motion Atari animation. So here goes nothing. Let's get our initial. Let's get our initial base frame captured. Boom. Okay. We're gonna do another quick intro here. Boom, welcome back to Nick White Classics. And today it's time to do an 8-bit behind the scenes. We're gonna capture a stop motion animation using my Atari 2600 carts. I have quite the collection and it fits the content of my channel. I'm always doing live streams. I'm always producing content featuring the Atari 2600. So I wanted to create a quick channel promo using these cartridges and make a stop motion video. So here we go. I want to grab like the most iconic games that I can find. So let's start with Pitfall. Doesn't get much more iconic than that. So I already got all my lighting set up. And so, gotta get our channel set. There we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna capture one frame of every scene. I want to make sure my focus looks right. Yeah, let's adjust that focus a little. Right now we're focused in on the cartridge, but I think I'm going to focus on the TV. Yeah, I think that's going to be a better frame to capture. There we go. We got some hot spots, so I'm just going to turn down the gain. Boom, and there's our first frame. So I want to capture about 60 frames. So that was Pitfall. I'm going to start a pile right here of the games that I already captured. I'm moving right along. I think maybe not every single frame needs to be iconic. Every couple frames need to be iconic though. So we're going to do Fishing Derby next. Let's put it in. Let's get this out of the way here. Ooh, Fishing Derby. Doesn't want to work for me today. Okay, we're going to come back to Fishing Derby. We got the chat. I don't care, well then go somewhere else. Next, we're doing Dark Chambers. Yeah. Again, I'm just doing this to capture a quick stop motion animation as a channel intro. So if you're into BTS or if you're into sort of retro gaming, you might enjoy this. I can't wait to play this one on stream. Has dark chambers. Next, I will do Missile Command. That's a classic game. I'm just doing a stop motion animation as a channel intro and capturing one frame of gameplay of a bunch of games. I'm going to capture about 60 to 80 frames in total. So that's Missile Command. If we do 30 frames a second, that would be like a 2-second animation. So that sounds about right. Next, we're going to go with Solaris. Boom. Yeah, the artwork on that one's awesome. The colorful ones are going to look great. See the chat, what's happening? It's hard to get in there and read that, so I'm just gonna stay focused on what I'm doing, but looks like next we're gonna go with Zaxxon. This is a great space shooter. If you're just tuning in, I'm making a quick channel intro using stop motion animation. So I'm just putting in a game, capturing a frame, putting in a game, capturing a frame. And I think 60 frames should be plenty. Next, I'm gonna capture Journey Escape. This is an Atari 2600 game based on the band, the rock band Journey. I'm just gonna capture 60 frames and then I'm gonna throw it into Photoshop and make sure every frame is perfectly aligned. Then I'm gonna import it into After Effects and create a few seconds of animation for a channel bumper. Next we got Kung Fu Master. This is a freaking classic, man. So all I'm doing is capturing one frame for each game, trying to find iconic games. That's an iconic one. Ghostbusters. I love it. They even have the chiptune theme song on there. Yeah, I just thought I would go live and do a behind the scene video this morning. I had the idea to do another stop motion animation for my channel intro, and I thought that I would share that process with anybody who's interested. So this last one was Mousetrap for the Atari 2600. Of course, let's go with something more iconic next. We'll go with the game Joust. That's a great game. You ride on ostriches, you collect eggs, and you sort of battle or joust each other. Ooh, has a sweet intro title too. Yeah. Let's go with Space Cavern. That's a sweet game. And if you're just tuning in, welcome to Nick White Classics. I'm Nick, and I'm all about classic content, vintage video, retro gaming, and today I'm just showing some BTS of a channel bumper that I'm creating. Based on, like, this is just a stop motion animation, so I'm just capturing one frame of video or one photo for each new game that I put in there, and I'm gonna cut that all together at the end and create a little channel bumper. Here's another iconic game, Crystal Castles. Check that out. If you have a favorite Atari game, put it in the chat, and I'll try to, if I have it, then I'll feature that one next, on the next frame. Okay, let's start it up. Here we go. Okay. Next we'll go with another space shooter, Mega Mania. So we're just capturing one frame of each game. We're not doing any gameplay today. This is just a BTS video to show sort of my behind the scenes process to just some of the videos that I produce for the channel. That's an Activision title there. And next we'll do one of my favorites, Beanie Bopper. Yeah, man, this is great. Let's start it up. There we go. Okay, I kind of want to keep count here, so we'll do 10 in a pile. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we'll do piles of 10 here. Next we'll go with Battlezone. That's a classic tank game. Boom. Sweet graphics on this one too. So I'm not capturing audio, I'm just capturing one frame of video, and then I'm gonna piece everything together in post and put together a stop motion animation and use it as a channel bumper, or maybe a bumper to promote my retro replay, which is live Atari live stream gameplay. Next we're gonna do Stampede. That's a little washed out, man. We'll make it work. Yeah, if some of the photos don't turn out, we'll just scrap those frames. So I think I might capture more than I need to. Next we'll go with Space Shuttle. This is a classic star shooter. Even got the NASA logo down there. It's an Activision title, classic game. Okay, let's go Entombed. That's a good one, right? The artwork on the label is really interesting. So 1982. I don't think I've ever played this one. Here we go. Okay. I just want to get more on the screen before I take my picture, so there we go. So in my frame, you can see, of course, the CRT monitor is the main focus, but then you can see the Atari and you can see the game cartridge as well. So I'm just gonna do a handful of these. I was thinking about 60, but I might just do them all because I think the more frames I have, the better. The longer the bumper I can make, and then I can scrap anything that doesn't really turn out great. Whoops. Yeah, so this is Omega Race. And next, let's go Secret Quest. Yeah. Yeah, as far as animation goes, it doesn't get much easier than this, right? Just throw in a game, capture a frame, move on to the next. Next, we're doing boxing. This is a great one. I would say, in my opinion, this is one of the best sports games for the Atari 2600 boxing. Next, let's do the iconic game, Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. Nice theme music here. There's some AT-ATs, okay. Got one, okay, sweet. Let's capture one frame of gameplay and then move on to the next. Next, we're gonna go Pitfall 2. So here you go. These are stacks of 10. So I got 10, 20 frames so far. I think if I do 15 frames per second, just keep that in mind as I go. Next, I'm gonna do Adventure, and that's one of the most iconic. This is one of the most iconic Atari games of all time. Yeah. It's one of the first action adventure games ever made for a home console system. So this is an iconic, classic, historic Atari 2600 game. Next, I'm gonna go with Atlantis. This is an iMagic title. They usually do some pretty sweet games, yeah. Nice and colorful, sweet graphics, good sound effects. Okay. I think every couple games I want to do something iconic or recognizable. Maybe we'll do this one next. Space War. This is an old one, 1978. Not a lot on there. Yeah, with the CRT monitor, you get some scan lines in the picture, but I think I'll be able to fix that in post. Next, we'll do Yar's Revenge. This is an all-time favorite. Usually, fans of the Atari 2600 usually love Yar's Revenge. Classic game. I notice when you load the games in, usually the artwork is upside down, but sometimes some games will print the label so that you can actually see the artwork on there, which is, I think, is smart. Next, we're gonna do Porky's, based on the adult comedy from the 80s, or the coming of age story. There it is, Porky's. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Nick White Classics. Make sure you hit me with the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'm just making a little BTS video as I create my channel bumper. Next, we're gonna do ice hockey. This is a classic sports game. A lot of fun to play. Ooh, if I can get it to work. Ooh, ice hockey's not working. I need to start a pile for games that I can't get to work. Maybe try to clean them out. Okay, that was not gonna work. Let's set that one aside. Okay, next we'll go Slot Racers. It's a generic game. I think it's a racing game, huh? I would think, yeah, there we go. Looks like you're competing running through a maze. I don't know that I've ever played that one. Next we'll do pole position. It's a classic racing game. Just gonna put it in, power it up, get the game started. Yeah. And then we're capture one frame and move on. Let's do Venture next. This is one of my favorite all-time favorite Atari 2600 games. So I'm just gonna put it in there, fire it up. Here we go. That's Venture. Okay, next we'll do Word Zapper. See, and they printed this one. No, they didn't. I think some of the games though are printed in such a way where you can see the when the way that the label's printed, it looks upright when it's in there. Which I think is the way to go. Word Zapper. I might not be capturing the best frame, but I just want to capture something that like is colorful and fills up the screen. Next we have Riddle of the Sphinx. This is a classic one, man. Here's the scorpion. Capture a frame. Move on. Okay, that's another pile of 10. So we got 10, 20, 30. We got 3 seconds total so far. Next, we're gonna do Lost Luggage. So essentially, once we throw these images into our editor, we're gonna make each still image about 3 frames long. So then a pile of 10 images would be a total of 30 frames, 1 second. And we're gonna use that, that quick stop motion animation of these Atari games as a little bumper animation to promote Retro Replay, which is where I live stream Atari 2600 gameplay. So if you're into that kind of thing, definitely subscribe to the channel. If you're into video production, visual effects, that's what I do professionally, so I hope you enjoy the behind the scenes. Here's old school real sports football. In 1982, you had to have that game if you were a football fan, I think. Next we have Barnstorm. Ooh. There we go. Let's get some birds on the screen before we take a shot. There we go. At least the barn. Hard for me to read the chat from back here, to be honest, but I do see some comments on there. Sorry, I'm not keeping up with it. I just wanna get this stop motion done. Next is Sky Jinx. This is a new game that I just picked up and I haven't tried yet, so I've never played this and hopefully it works. Yeah, okay. Wow, this game looks sweet. Yeah, I never played this one, but I'm glad I got it to work. Sky Jinx. Next, we're gonna do Let's do another sports game. Let's go to basketball for the Atari 2600. This is 1978. Ooh. Wow, check out those graphics. Okay. Next we'll go Stargate. This is another, space shooter game that is highly recommended, highly favored. There we go. It's a vector shooter. Awesome. Okay, let's go. Need to move forward to get some enemies in the shot. There we go. Okay, that's Stargate. So now we have 4 piles, so we're looking at 40 frames or 4 seconds of video here. Next we're gonna do sneak and peek. It's moving right along. Oh, these piles are getting kind of high. I don't want to block anything. Again, the point of this video is just to show my process and share my, my stop motion process with everyone. I'm just gonna put the game in, start it up. Sometimes, this screen is more interesting than actual gameplay. So, anyways, I'm just gonna put in the game, capture a shot. I got my lighting all set up how I want it. I got my scene set up. My framing is perfect. I just wanna capture 1 frame of each game, and then I'm gonna create a bumper for my live streaming series called Retro Replay. Yeah, that one's colorful. That's Infiltrate. Next we'll do Enduro. That's a racing game that I always loved as a kid. Yeah, man. This is one of the best racing games for the Atari. The important thing about stop motion, you have to be sure you don't nudge your camera or move your tripod. If you do, it's game over. Next we're gonna do Sorcerer, which looks like a fun game. I don't think I've ever played this one, but I like the artwork. There we go. And if the camera, I guess, does nudge just like a hair, we can fix that in post. If it's not perfectly aligned, we can make it work. This is London Blitz. Oh, how do we get it started? I guess we'll just capture the screen then. Yeah, Atlantis was fun. Yes, that's a great game. It's a good 2-player game. Next I'm doing Firefly. We got the smiley face, dude. That's a smiley face from Berserk. If you remember that game, he's like the primary villain. So it's cool to see him reappear in other games. Next we have Space Jockey. We're just gonna put it in, start it up, take a frame, move on to the next. Whoa. Wow, this one looks sweet. I can honestly say I've never played this one before. Looks pretty cool. Next we have Mountain King. This is a CBS game that I've never played this one. But if you're just tuning in, welcome to Nick White Classics. I'm Nick. This is just a little BTS video. I usually When I go live, I'm sharing classic content, retro gaming, vintage video, that kind of thing. But today I wanted to show behind the scenes of my stop motion process. So if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Next, we're gonna do chopper command. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit me with a thumbs up. And once I get the stop motion all captured, I'm gonna throw it into my editor and put a little channel bumper together, or a show bumper, for my retro replay show. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta blow in the cart. Sweet. Okay. That's chopper command, and that marks our 50th game that 50th frame. So 5 piles of 10. Next, we're gonna move on to running low here. Let's do kangaroo. That's a classic one. All right. Got my frame there. I'm gonna start a new pile. Next, we'll do super football. Wow, graphics look sweet on this, so you have some perspective down the field. Next, we're gonna do decathlon. That's a classic sports game. Oh man, I hate it when that happens. You can't get the game to play. Okay, well I have a pile over here of games that I couldn't get to play, so let's try to clean those out and try them again. We have another football game, so let's try this one. Well, I don't want to do 2 football games in a row. Let's see. Let's go combat next. That's a classic tank game. What are the different modes? There we go. That's iconic. That looks good. That's an iconic frame to add. Okay, what else do we got? We've got Reactor. This is a Parker Brothers game. I like the artwork. I don't remember the gameplay at all. Nice. But it has some cool music and colorful artwork, which is fun. Next we have Sword Quest, Earthworld. Ooh. Man, I don't know. I think maybe that title screen is more iconic than the gameplay. Let's capture that title screen this time. So if you're just tuning in, I'm just doing a little stop motion promo video sharing my behind the scene process. I'm just capturing one Atari game at a time. Okay, we're getting down to the bottom of the barrel here. Next, we're gonna do Armor Ambush. This is a Mattel game. Okay, this is a tanks game. Awesome. They made a lot of like similar games, you know, tank-based fighters. Next we have Vanguard. That's another classic Atari game. Ooh, okay. Nice. Okay, let's go with another Mattel game. We'll do Space Attack. Yeah, I've never played this one. I have no idea what this one is about or how to play it. That's okay. Today we're just capturing frames for a little stop motion video we're working on. Next we're gonna do Defender, possibly my favorite Atari game of all time, Defender. If you're into Atari, if you're into behind the scenes videos, if you're into retro gaming, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit me with the thumbs up. Okay, that's Defender. What do we got next? We have Super Challenge Baseball. There we go. Okay. Yeah, man. These are classic games, man. Hence the name of the channel, Nick White Classics. I'm all about classic content, whether it's comic books or collectibles or retro video game, Atari 2600, Nintendo NES, Sega Genesis. I'm into that stuff and I love to present that content. So if you're into that, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Next, we're gonna do Star Master. Oh no. There we go. They made a lot of space shooter games back in the late 70s. Next we have Atari's Volleyball. Here's another classic sports game. This is highly acclaimed as one of the best sports games for the Atari 2600. It's made by Real Sports. They basically had one for every sport. So next we'll go with Target Games. Target Fun. Okay. Nice, colorful game. Next, we're gonna do Pele Soccer. We're gonna do a soccer game. Ha! Look at those graphics. Love it. Okay, so that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. That's 64 frames. We've got a couple more. Next, I'm gonna do Air-Sea Battle. Oh wow, that's interesting. That's the same. Ooh, that's the same visuals as the last game. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, just two more. We got Tank Plus, and that might be similar to one that we just played. Let's see. It is. Okay. Set that one aside. I have a football game. Let's try that one. Okay, it's a different football game. Looks similar, but I guess for 8-bit graphics, yeah, how else are you gonna depict football, right? Okay, this will be the final one. It is my logo. So if you're into retro gaming, classic content, vintage video, pro wrestling, you're in the right place. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Hit me with the thumbs up. For this last frame, we're going to do my custom game, which of course is Space Invaders. One of the most classic Atari games of all time. Shit, one of the most classic video games of all time. So that's going to be it. Let me just double check my count here. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So we've got 66 frames. I should be able to break that down and do a long enough stop motion video here to produce a bumper for my live retro gameplay show that I play a couple times a week. So if you're into retro gaming, you're into Atari 2600 content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Looks like Brett's in the house. Welcome. Yes, I know the Atari, man. They made that so well. It's so well made that it still plays today. So yeah, it definitely holds up. I've got a pretty, okay collection, and I'm trying to grow my collection every day. In fact, I recently started a series of shows that I produced on my channel called Hunting for Classics, where I try to track down new Atari games to add to my collection. So if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit me with the thumbs up. Yeah, man, 70s embodied with the Atari 2600. The one that I have is the Light Sixer, which has the wood grain on the front, and that definitely screams 1970s. Later, they made an all-black one, which is fun. They call it the Darth Vader version, and it doesn't scream the 70s as much. It feels more like the 80s. They don't really hold up compared to NES games. I think that's debatable, man. In some cases I agree. There's no save points in most of these games, but I will say they've made so many games for the Atari 2600, like over 500 games, and some games like the series made by CBS Games, they have RAM Plus, which means there's a couple hundred kilobytes of RAM built into the chipboard, into the game, so they don't rely just on the Atari, the RAM on the Atari 2600 board. They provide their own RAM, which gives it a little bit of a boost to most games. And you'd be surprised, man, if you go back and look. There's a bunch of like hidden gems or secret games that maybe you didn't play as a kid that are like super replayable. I'll say this game, London Blitz. That's a sweet one. SNES and NES. So I just cleaned out my Nintendo NES last night and got that up and running. So it kept doing the power button kept blinking. So I had to take it apart and clean it out. And now I'm just letting it dry. I'm going to give it a shot today, and hopefully I can get it to work so I can live stream some Nintendo NES games. And as far as SNES or Super Nintendo, man, I'd love to get an SNES and play some of those games, man. I love that system. That's great. Any advice for getting Kong to work? Man, I have Kong, wait. Donkey Kong, right? Yeah, I have Donkey Kong for the Atari 2600. It didn't work for me at first, and then I took a Q-tip and some isopropyl alcohol with 91% IPA, so like a high content, and I just get into the bottom right here with a Q-tip and some isopropyl alcohol and just wipe off that chipboard and make sure those pins are clean so that you can get a full contact when you put the game into your console. And really, that's the key. A lot of times these don't go bad. You can shake it, and if you hear something loose, you might take the cartridge apart. But I also have a series called Cleaning Carts, where I take my Atari 2600 games and I clean them up really good, especially the ones that won't work. Like as we just did this video, I have a small pile here of games that I couldn't get to work, so I'm going to clean these out right after this live stream, and hopefully I can get them to play. Did he flip all the switches? I know, right? There's a 4-switch version, a 6-switch version. Yeah. You have to make sure that it's set to the right channel. A lot of times you need to play it on an old, or I prefer to play it on an old CRT monitor. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. If you enjoy the content, definitely hit me with the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Enjoy your Monday. Have a good one. Later.